Close your eyes for one breath and feel this. If your results haven't changed, it's not because you don't want it enough. It's because your identity signature hasn't shifted. The field doesn't mirror your effort, your affirmations, or your hustle. It mirrors who you are being right now. And that's the real reason you can do everything right and still feel stuck in the same loop. Today I'm going to give you a single switch, one identity frequency shift you can run in 90 seconds that stops the energy of wanting and stabilizes the energy of already is. When this clicks, timelines don't inch closer, they collapse. You won't need to force outcomes, chase signs, or keep checking if it's working. You'll learn how to become the signal the universe can't ignore. And by the end of this video, you'll have a simple protocol and a 7-day plan to make it your new default. Take a slow inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and let's begin. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes, and it's so subtle you can live inside it for years without noticing. We try to manifest from the energy of wanting. Wanting feels productive. It makes lists, builds vision boards, stacks techniques, and gives the mind a job. But vibrationally, I want is a flare that signals distance. Not yet, not here, not me. The more urgently we want, the more convincingly we broadcast separation, and the field, ever-faithful mirror, keeps reflecting that gap back as delays, mixed signals, or nearly there outcomes that never quite land. You can push harder, repeat louder, perfect your routine, and still feel like life is politely ignoring your effort. Being is different, quietly, powerfully different. Being doesn't audition for the role, it has the part. It sounds like a regulated breath, not a rushed one. It speaks in ordinary sentences, not magical incantations. Being says, "This is my normal," and normal is the most underrated frequency in the universe. When something is normal to you, you don't chase it, you don't check for it, and you don't perform around it. You just move as the person who has it. That calm, unforced posture is coherence, and coherence is what the field responds to. This is why identity always precedes behavior. When the inner role is cast, the lines write themselves. Think about the last time you genuinely upgraded a part of your life. You didn't force yourself to act differently forever. You became someone for whom the new action made sense. The diet stopped being a fight when being healthy felt like you. The boundaries stopped feeling awkward when self-respect felt like you. The opportunity stopped feeling rare when abundance felt like you. The outer shift clicked because the inner identity clicked first. So the shift is not wanted more. It's be it more in small, lived ways that your nervous system can actually hold. Replace "how do I get it" with "how does the version of me who already lives this breathe, speak, decide, and move right now?" That question turns the future into a present tense practice. It swaps pressure for precision, and it ends the loop where every action, even spiritual action, secretly argues with reality by insisting it isn't here yet. When you choose being, you stop energizing the absence and start stabilizing the presence. Your language softens from plea to preference. Your body loosens its grip. Your attention stops scanning for evidence and starts rehearsing the signal. From the outside, it looks like you're doing less. From the inside, you're broadcasting more clearly than ever. And because reality is a mirror, not a judge, the moment your signal changes, your reflection begins to reorganize. That's why this works. Not because the universe finally decides you're worthy, but because you finally decide who you are. Let's connect the dots between the mystical and the measurable. Think of identity as a carrier frequency. The silent wave that all your thoughts, words, and actions ride on. In radio, the carrier wave doesn't shout the message, it holds it, stabilizes it, and broadcasts it to exactly the right receivers. Your identity does the same. It's the felt signal you emit before a single affirmation leaves your lips. That's why two people can say the same words and get different outcomes. The message is identical, but the carrier frequency, the identity state underneath, is not. When the carrier is noisy, anxious, future-oriented, needy, the message scrambles. When the carrier is coherent, calm, clear, already normal, the message lands. You've felt this in real life. Walk into a room carrying the identity of "I don't belong," and everything confirms it. You'll miss eye contact, second-guess your tone, and interpret neutral faces as rejection. Enter with "I am meant to be here," and the exact same room rearranges. You notice the person who's open to talk. You speak concisely. You feel time on your side. The facts didn't change. The field of meaning did. That field is your carrier frequency. Emotion, meaning, posture, and expectation blended into a single broadcastable state. You're tuning the station other people and opportunities pick up on. Now add the observation lens. You never meet reality neutrally. You meet it through the identity you're observing from. Your attention filters for what matches your role. The brain saves energy by predicting, not just perceiving, and those predictions are biased by who you believe you are. Identity tells your nervous system which signals matter, which to ignore, and how much energy to mobilize. If your role is the one who's still waiting, your system will keep you in scanning mode, never settling, always checking. If your role is the one for whom this is normal, your system stops burning fuel on proof and routes energy into expression, less friction, more flow. Coherence is the technical name for when your inner systems agree, heart rhythm, breath pattern, thought cadence, and posture lining up in the same direction. Coherence makes your carrier frequency strong and simple, like a clean sine wave instead of static. You can hear it in a voice that isn't rushing, see it in eyes that aren't searching, feel it in a body that isn't bracing. And here's the practical magic. Coherence is trainable. A slower exhale, a softened jaw, a sentence shaved of neediness. These tiny adjustments quiet the noise riding on your carrier, and suddenly your message comes through. So when we say be, don't want, we're not suggesting delusion. We're asking you to retune the carrier. Instead of broadcasting distance and hoping your words overpower it, you reformat the state that all your words sit on. This is why the smallest shifts matter. The breath that lengthens your exhale by 2 seconds, the micro change in language from I hope it works to this is my normal, the posture that drops your shoulders 2 centimeters. Each tweak cleans the carrier. Each tweak tells your system, we're safe to be this now. And when your carrier stabilizes, people feel it, chances find it, and your own choices finally align without effort. Identity is the wave. Everything else is the music. Get the wave right, and your life stops sounding like static. Step 1. De-energize the old self begins by interrupting the signal you've been unconsciously broadcasting. Sit or stand tall with both feet grounded. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. And keep this slow cadence for 6 to 8 cycles. On each exhale, quietly name the old identity you're ready to release, like the one who hopes, the one who chases, or the one who checks. As you exhale, soften your jaw. Drop your shoulders slightly and let your gaze widen to the edges of your visual field. This tells your nervous system that you are safe, which reduces noise on your internal carrier frequency so the new signal can be heard. If thoughts rush in, acknowledge them and send them out on the next exhale, like birds leaving a branch. The goal isn't to be blank, it's to be spacious. By the end of 90 seconds, your breath feels deeper, your posture less armored, and your mind less insistent. That's your green light. Step 2. Select the end identity by choosing the role you're going to broadcast. Keep it simple and ordinary because ordinary is believable. Use one identity line, present tense, that implies normalcy. I am the one for whom this is normal. Then define 3 micro traits that this identity naturally expresses. Micro means small enough to do right now without theater. For example, speak slowly and clearly as if it's already done. Send one message or make one choice that the already version would make in 60 seconds, and carry a quiet, grounded confidence in your chest. Say them aloud or write them down. You're programming a template for your body and attention to follow. This is not about faking. It's about specifying the minimum viable signals that make the identity feel lived in. Step 3. Somatic tagging anchors the state in your body so it becomes easy to find again. Place one hand lightly on your sternum and let a small, unforced smile soften your face. Breathe naturally, slightly slower than usual. Now call up a 10-second scene from the life where this is already normal. Keep it mundane, like opening an email with good news as if it's expected. Tapping your card at a place your future self frequents or sitting at your desk with a calm feeling of this is what I do. Let that micro scene play once or twice, then pair it with the sensation under your hand. You are binding image, emotion, and touch into a single recallable cue. From now on, hand to sternum becomes your return to signal button. No dramatic visualization required, just 10 seconds of ordinary proof linked to a bodily anchor. Step 4. Signal rehearsal cements identity without strain using a short loop. For 1 minute, inhale and feel your chest expand under your hand. On the exhale, whisper your identity line, I am the one for whom this is normal. On the next inhale, embody one micro trait now by straightening your posture a little, slowing your speech to a calm cadence, or letting your face soften out of performance. On the exhale, release any checking thought by labeling it old signal and letting it ride out with the breath. Repeat this cycle for a full minute. Think of it as tuning a radio. Each in-breath aligns your body. Each out-breath cleans static from the carrier wave. If you like, imagine your words riding a clean, steady tone, not loud, just clear. The goal is not intensity, it's consistency. Step 5. Surrender into coherence by replacing checking with returning. The identity holds when you stop poking it. For the rest of your day, swap the urge to check for evidence with a simple return to signal cue. Choose one word such as home, already, or normal, and pair it with a slow exhale and the hand-to-sternum touch whenever doubt or urgency spikes. Then take one tiny action that the identity would consider obvious. Send the email, tidy the workspace, choose the healthier option, or speak the boundary in one sentence. These micro-actions are not tests, they are expressions. They tell your nervous system, we behave like this because we are this. If fear flares, run the 90-second reset from step 1 and then reinstall the line and one micro-trait. You are not trying to hold a perfect state, you are training rapid re-entry into coherence. Over time, returning becomes faster than checking and your baseline identity stabilizes. To use the protocol daily, in the morning run steps 1 through 4 for a few minutes and set your cue word for the day. During the day, every time you notice a pull to convince or control, run a short mini rehearsal of breath, identity line, one micro-trait, and one tiny action. In the evening, jot 2 simple lines, where did I return to signal, and what felt normal today that didn't last week. This locks in wins as the new baseline. In the first week, expect waves of relief and resistance at first, as you lower noise and your system notices the silence. By day 3 or 4, ease begins to emerge in small choices, and you'll catch yourself speaking from the new cadence without trying. By day 5 or 6, you feel fewer urges to check and more spontaneous already actions. By day 7, a moment that would have triggered you last week passes with a single breath and a posture reset. That's coherence landing. Remember, identity is your carrier frequency. You don't need to shout the message when the wave is clean. Breathe first, speak simply, move as the one for whom this is normal, and let the field mirror your signal. The first pitfall is over-affirming without state. This happens when the mouth runs ahead of the body. You can stack mantras from sunrise to midnight, but if your breath is shallow, your shoulders are braced, and your eyes are scanning for proof, the carrier frequency underneath your words is still not yet. The quick fix is simple and immediate. State before statement. Take 90 seconds to regulate. Inhale through the nose for 4, exhale through the mouth for 6. Soften your jaw, widen your gaze, and feel your ribs move. Only then, when your body says we are safe, speak your identity line. The words will finally have a wave strong enough to ride. The second pitfall is identity inflation, which is pretending to be a version of you your nervous system can't hold yet. You'll hear it in overblown claims, see it in tight posture and forced smiles, and feel it in the crash afterward. The fix is to go micro. Pick one ordinary identity line and 3 micro traits you can embody right now without theater. Maybe it's slowing your speech by 10%, sending one message your already self would send, and carrying a quiet warmth in your chest. Small is believable, and what's believable becomes repeatable. Repeatable is what rewires. The third pitfall is evidence chasing. After a good practice, the mind wants to peek. Did it work? Where's my sign? Who texted me? That checking impulse is just the old identity trying to reassert control. The quick fix is to swap checking for returning. Use a single cue word like home, already, or normal. Pair it with a slow exhale and your hand lightly on your sternum. Then do one obvious tiny action from the new identity. You're telling your system we don't wait for feedback to be who we are. We broadcast who we are and let feedback arrive on its own time. The fourth pitfall is emotional whiplash after a high. You'll have a coherent morning, then by afternoon you're edgy, doubtful, or tired. Nothing's wrong, your system is recalibrating. The fix is a rapid reset, not a rescue mission. Run the 90-second breath cadence, drink a glass of water, look at something far away to relax your focus, and reinstall one micro-trait. Think of it as pulling back into alignment instead of restarting from zero. The goal is fast re-entry, not constant perfection. The fifth pitfall is overcomplication. When the shift feels important, we pile on methods, 5 breathwork styles, 3 visualizations, 7 rules for language. More techniques create more static. The fix is to reduce to signal, 1 line for 7 days, the same 3 micro-traits, the same return cue. Let boredom be your ally. It means your system recognizes the pattern. Consistency is what turns a technique into a trait. The 6th pitfall is future tense language sneaking back in. Phrases like I hope this works, I'm trying my best, or I can't wait until subtly recode the signal as distance. The fix is present tense hygiene. Catch one phrase and rewrite it on the spot as a calm, ordinary present. This is my normal, I'm choosing the next next obvious step, or I'm already aligned and I continue. Make the new phrasing simple enough that it sounds like you on a relaxed day. The seventh pitfall is outsourcing regulation to outcomes. The old loop says I'll feel safe when it lands. The identity loop says it lands because I feel safe now. The quick fix is to reclaim regulation as your job, not the universe's. Breath length, posture softness, eye focus, and a single anchoring touch are always available. When you own these levers, you stop bargaining with reality and start broadcasting to it. The eighth pitfall is confusing intensity with effectiveness. You don't need to strain, sweat, or summon goosebumps to change your life. Coherence sounds like gentle certainty. The fix is to lower volume and increase clarity. Whisper the identity line. Clean the extra words. Move slower than your habit, and let silence do some of the work. A clear signal at low volume travels farther than a loud, distorted one. The ninth pitfall is skipping integration. You nail the morning practice and then let the day carry you away. Identity prefers repetition over heroics. The fix is to install micro-rehearsals. Once an hour, take 15 seconds to breathe, touch your sternum, say the line in your mind, and embody one micro-trait. 15 seconds is too small for the mind to resist, and just enough for the body to remember. The 10th pitfall is judging the process too early. If you evaluate after every practice, you keep yanking the seed out of the soil to check the roots. The fix is time-boxing your judgment. Commit to 7 days with one identity line and 3 micro-traits, then review. Until then, no scorekeeping, just returning. Keep a tiny evening note of where you returned and what felt more normal. That's how you train your attention to notice the mirror changing without demanding it happen on your schedule. If any of these pitfalls show up, smile. It means you're on the field, not on the sidelines. The work is not to wrestle the old identity to the ground, it's to become faster at returning to the new one. Breathe first. Speak simply. Move as the one for whom this is normal. The rest is the field doing what it always does, reflecting your signal back to you. Day 1 is your installation day. Keep it beautifully simple. Wake up, sit up, and run the 90-second reset to quiet the old signal. Choose one identity line in the present tense that implies normalcy. I am the one for whom this is normal, and pair it with 3 micro-traits small enough to embody right now. Maybe you speak 10% slower. Make one obvious choice your already self would make within 60 seconds, and carry a quiet warmth in your chest. Anchor it somatically with one hand on your sternum and a 10-second ordinary scene that proves it's already your life. Then rehearse for 1 minute. Breath, identity line, micro-trait, release checking. Through the day, every time you feel the urge to push or prove, return to signal with a slow exhale, the hand to sternum cue, and one tiny action from the new identity. Before bed, jot 2 lines in a notebook. Where did I return to signal, and what felt even 1% more normal? Day 2 is about repetition without performance. Run the same morning sequence and resist the temptation to upgrade or decorate it. Ordinary is powerful because it's believable, and what's believable becomes repeatable. As you move through your day, notice how many moments are invitations to check or chase. Instead of engaging, practice the gentle swap. Checking becomes returning, forcing becomes exhaling, over-explaining becomes one calm sentence. In the evening, write down one place where you chose the obvious action your identity would choose, even if it felt small. This is how the trait takes root, by expressing it, not by waiting to feel perfect first. Day 3 is your first expression day. After your morning reset and rehearsal, choose one action you've been postponing because you were waiting to feel ready. Don't make it dramatic, make it ordinary and specific. Send the email with 2 clear sentences. Tidy the space where your future self works. Put on the outfit your already self wears on a regular day. Do it within the first hour, before the mind can bargain. Through the day, install 15-second micro-rehearsals once an hour. Breathe, touch your sternum, whisper the line in your mind, embody one micro-trait and continue. This trains your body to find the state quickly, and quick access is more valuable than long bursts of intensity. Day 4 is for consolidating ease. The novelty of the practice may be fading, that's good. Boredom means your system recognizes the pattern. Keep the morning sequence identical, and notice how your language evolves. Wherever you catch future tense phrases, I hope this works, I can't wait until, gently rewrite them in the present. This is my normal. I'm choosing the next obvious step. I'm already aligned and I continue. Pick one interaction today to be a coherence rep. Speak slower than your habit. Let silence carry some of the meaning, and watch how people respond when you're not chasing their reaction. Journal a single moment where you felt time on your side. Day 5 is your no-checking challenge. Commit to a full morning of the protocol, and then gift yourself a half day without peeking for evidence. When the reflex to scan arises, name it old signal. Exhale, touch the sternum, and do one tiny action aligned with your identity. If fear spikes, run the 90-second reset and re-enter. Notice how much energy is freed when you stop auditing yourself. Use that energy to do one thing your already self finds obvious, but your old self avoided because it felt too simple to matter. Simplicity is how identity becomes sustainable. Day 6 is your environment tune. After your morning practice, clean one small corner of your world to match your identity's normal. A desk layout, a phone home screen, a calendar block labeled with the identity line. Subtle environmental cues remind your nervous system what's true without effort. Choose one place you often lose coherence and plant a silent reminder there. A sticky note with a single word like home or already. A lock screen with your identity line. A breathing timer on your watch. Through the day, use these cues to trigger 15 seconds of return rather than 5 minutes of rumination. In the evening, ask yourself what became easier when you didn't try to make it impressive. Day 7 is your audit and anchor. Run the practice as usual, then take 10 minutes to reflect on the week. Write down 3 ways life responded differently, no matter how small. A quicker reply, an easier no, a calmer body in a moment that used to spike you. Name one micro-trait that felt the most natural and decide to lock it in for the next week as a non-negotiable. Choose one new ordinary action to add for the coming days. Finally, reaffirm your identity line out loud in a quiet room and feel the difference between today and day 1. You're not forcing the state, you're finding it faster, holding it softer, and returning to it without drama. That's coherence landing. Carry this forward by keeping the same line and micro-traits for another 7 days before you evolve anything. The point isn't to chase a peak, it's to stabilize a baseline. Breathe first, speak simply, move as the one for whom this is normal, and let the mirror of reality do what it always does when the signal is clear. Take one more slow inhale through your nose and a longer exhale through your mouth. Feel how different your body sounds to itself when you're not performing, not proving, just broadcasting a clear, calm signal. That is the whole game, state before statement. You don't have to chase outcomes when your identity is already carrying the message. Today you learned how to de-energize the old self. Choose a single ordinary identity line, tag it into your body, rehearse the signal in 60 seconds, and replace checking with returning. If you do nothing else but run that loop a few times a day and follow the 7-day plan we mapped out, you will notice the mirror of your life begin to reorganize around you. Not because the universe finally noticed you, but because you finally decided who you are. Before we close, anchor it right now with a quiet line said out loud, even if it's a whisper. I am the one for whom this is normal. Let your shoulders soften, let your gaze widen, and feel how that sentence lands differently in a regulated body. If a part of you still wants to rush out and look for evidence, smile and come back to your cue word on the next exhale, home already or normal, and then take one tiny action your identity would find obvious. That's how we build trust with our nervous system, not by forcing big leaps, but by collecting small proofs that feel natural to the you that's already here. From here, the next steps are about upgrading how you watch your life, not just how you talk about it. In the next episode, we'll dive into the observer upgrade, how to look at reality through the lens of your new identity so you stop energizing the old loop without realizing it. After that, we'll explore pre-decision power, those microseconds before you consciously choose, when your state tips the scale and locks in a timeline. And because real change invites real sensation, there's a full session on stabilizing coherence when fear spikes after a breakthrough, so expansion feels safe enough to keep. If this transmission shifted something in you, even slightly, mark it. Say your line once more, hand to sternum, and let a 10-second ordinary scene play in your mind. Then tell me in the comments with that same calm certainty, I am the one for whom this is normal, not to convince me or anyone else, just to hear your own signal out loud. Subscribe if you want to keep practicing inside this field, where we don't chase timelines, we collapse into them. Breathe first, speak simply, move as the one who already lives it, and let the field mirror you back. We begin again on your very next exhale.